In this video review, we're going to discuss what happened in the stock market last week. Besides, there have been plenty of events to talk about. For example, the US dollar index has started to grow again. The devastating Hurricane Ida caused enormous economic damage to the southern regions of the United States. Watch our video review and learn the most important news about the stock market. The Dow Jones practically remained at the same levels last week. It traded with a mixed dynamic and without a clear-cut trend. Now the Dow is trading at the level of 35,400. Investors were probably concerned about the consequences of Hurricane Ida that swept through Louisiana. Besides, the epidemiological situation has also worsened significantly. This week, traders are awaiting a bunch of reports from the Department of Labor. Analysts believe that the data will be slightly worse than the indicators of the previous month. If so, this may be a bearish factor for the Dow Jones. This is why the index is likely to stay in the current range of 35,200 – 35,600 points during the week. The S&P 500 was able to climb to 4,540. However, the increase was only 10 pips more than a week earlier. The index has just entered a technical correction. This week, it may reach the level of 4,550. It's likely to even break above this level as it did a few days ago. A decline looks unlikely, yet its growth will be moderate and unstable. Currently, the prospects of the Nasdaq index also seem uncertain. Of course, last week its quotes hit record highs again. However, after a long weekend, the index has entered a correction. Some traders wonder what levels the Nasdaq Composite will reach this week. Analysts suggest that the index will be able to approach new highs, but it may fail to consolidate above these levels. The index may also rise from 15,600 to 15,700 points. And now let's start with WestRock shares, as many economies are betting on their growth in the next few weeks. WestRock is a global manufacturer of paper and packaging products. The company is distinguished by stable balance sheet indicators and an attractive dividend yield of about 2% in conditions of low interest rates. In addition, WRK shares are currently trading at a discount compared to shares of similar companies. It is also recommended to pay attention to the shares of the AES Corporation. They are projected to gain momentum in the current quarter. The company benefits from favorable regulation in the United States, the growth of cash flow, the exit from non-core assets, and a rise in the number of wholesale and industrial customers over the year. Netflix shares also look very attractive for investors, as they have been rising for several weeks in a row. Analysts believe that this growth will continue in the near future. To sum up, investors are now expecting the Fed to postpone the tapering of its quantitative easing program due to the weak NFP data published on Friday. They are also waiting for new clues from the central banks of other countries. The main event of the week is the ECB meeting scheduled for Thursday. Until then, the US dollar is likely to fluctuate around recent lows as it does this morning. The stock indices will try to reach new highs. However, they may be unable to consolidate above those high levels. And you've watched Weekly Financial Review on Insta TV with me, Anna Kasatkina. Thank you for watching and see you back soon.